Yashodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanchari Jayo Radha Madhava Anga Vihari Jayo Radha Madhava Anga Vihari Jai Vishnupada Paramaham Parivyadikacharya Stotra Shri Srimadi Divine Grace Sri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Antakoti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Together we'll recite Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Canto 3, Chapter 11, entitled Calculation of Time from the Atom. And Maitreya, she is speaking this verse 18. Oh, this is 19. Yes, so we are covering 18, 19, 20. We'll recite verse 18, 19. Two verses. Okay. So, but we are reciting 19, right? We are reciting 19. Okay. Please repeat behind me. Chatvari trini dve chaikam kṛtādishu yathakramam sankhyatani sahasrani dvigunani shatani cha Chatvari trini dve chaikam kṛtādishu yathakramam sankhyatani sahasrani dvigunani shatani cha kṛtamam sankhyatani sahasrani dvigunani shatani cha Chatvari trini dechakam kṛtamam sankhyatani sahasrani dvigunani shatani cha. Mothers? Chatvari trini dechakam kṛtādishu yathakramam sankhyatani sahasrani dvigunani shatani cha. Chatvari, 4, Trini, 3, Dvaya, 2, Cha, also, Ekam, 1, Kritadishu, in the Satya, Yathakramam, and subsequently others. Sankhyatani, numbering. Sahasrani, thousands. Dvigunani, twice. Shatani, hundreds. Cha, also. The duration of Satya millennium equals 4,800 years of the demigods. The duration of Tretā millennium equals 3,600 years of the demigods. And the duration of Dvāpara millennium equals 2,400 years. And that of the Kali millennium is 1,200 years of the demigods. Purport: as aforementioned, 1 year of the demigods is equal to 360 years of the humans. The duration of Satyuga therefore is 4,800 into 360, or this is 1.728 million years. The duration of the Tretā Yuga similarly is 3,600 into 360, which is 1.296 million years. And the duration of the Dvāpara Yuga is 8,64,000 years, and the last Kali-yuga is 4,32,000 years. I'll just also read the text 18. Maitreya said, O Vidura, the 4 millenniums are called Satya, Tretā, Dvāpara and Kali-yuga. The aggregate number of the years of all these combined is equal to 12,000 years of the demigods. Om Jnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Tapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamsya He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dīnabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Yashabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpataruvesha Kripa Sindhuve Vacha Maritanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shanyavadi Pasyatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So I would like to seek the blessings of all the assembled Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, especially all the senior devotees who are sitting here. So Vidura has inquired, he has made several inquiries in relation to the creation, and he also wants to know about the time factor of the Lord, the Kala. And so this whole chapter is dedicated to description of the time, the measurements of time. Just few verses back, specifically Vidura has made another inquiry. He says, will you please describe me about those living beings who live for duration greater than a day of Brahma? You know, at the end of the Lord Brahma's day, there is a dissolution up to Swargalokas. First of all, there is a fire that comes from the mouth of Sankarshan, described as Kalagni Rudra, that burns everything up to the Swargaloka, and then there is a heavy rainfall which then drowns all the lokas up to Swargaloka. So this happens at the end of every day of Brahma. There is a, you can say, partial dissolution up to the 3 lokas. The planets of the sages are not destroyed. So Vidura wants to know about those beings who live greater than the day of Brahma. So in answer to that question, Maitreya, first he wants to tell us what is the duration of Brahma's day. And therefore in these verses he is describing what is the duration of Kali-yuga, which equals to 1200 demigods a year. Then double of that, 3 times that, 4 times that is that of other subsequent yugas, Dvāpara, Tretā and Satya. So he is giving this description over here. So that is the verse under discussion. So I'll briefly discuss about the time factor of the Lord from the perspective of how to judiciously use the time and not to waste the time. So basically there is a whole discussion about times. The astronomy makes so many calculations based upon certain times, constellations and so on and so forth. So the purpose is to engage our time as much as possible in auspicious activities and even more in Krishna conscious activities. So that's the purpose of discussion of the time. We invest more and more time in Krishna consciousness. We use the time judiciously and not waste the time. So that we'll focus on that aspect. There are some interesting measurements of time that has been discussed. The smallest of the time is Paramanu time. Paramanu. What's the duration of the time? Anyone remembers? What does one Paramanu, the minimum span of time described in Bhagavatam, what is that in terms of modern calculation, in terms of seconds? Yes, Navinirat Prabhu? Atomic time. What's that in terms of seconds or minutes or? Atom. Okay. And how much is that in terms of seconds?
The sun moves at 16,000 miles per second.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So, thank you. You are quite tuned in to the mathematical calculation. It is 1 by 30,000 seconds, the smallest duration, approximately. The minimum span of time, as discussed in the Srimad Bhagavatam by the sage Maitreya, is 1 by 30,000 of a second. That is Paramanu time. Greater than that, there is a time span mentioned which we are familiar with. So now this is so inconceivable, 1 by 30,000 second. I mean, we need some time to think of it also. That much time, have passed long back. Or so many of the time just passed before we can even conceive of it. So quite an inconceivable unit of time. But another unit of time which is mentioned by sage Maitreya is Truti. Truti. Have you heard this word Truti? The measurement of time called Truti? Yes, you have heard the Truti. Where is that? Truti. Truti has a meaning, means mistake. But truti is also a measurement of time. So has anyone heard this word truti anywhere as a measurement of time? In Gopi Geet. Good. In Gopi Geet. The gopis, and the Gopi Geet recitation has started yesterday. So today, if you are in the evening, you are attending Gopi Geet, pay attention. In one of the verses, the gopi says, probably we can recite the verse, it's an auspicious time, Vishnu Panchak. Atati-yad-bhavan ahanikananam truti-yugayate tvam pasyatam kutilakuntalam shrimukham chate jada udekshatam pakshmakredisham. So they describe atati yad bhavan ahanikananam. When you go to the forest, we are not able to see you. But when you return back and we are able to see you, then our seeing is interrupted by our eyelids. And the truti, the duration of the time truti, seems to be, well, here they don't talk of the eyelids. They talk only when we are not able to see you when you go to the forest, and we are not able to see you. A truti of the time seems like a yuga in separation from you, basically. So they are expressing their feeling of separation from Krishna. So this truti is 1 by 1700 of a second. 1 by 1700 of a second. That is truti. And they are saying this truti seems to be a yuga to us. The minimum is Kali-yuga. That also is 432,000 years. So that's the feeling of separation expressed by the gopis of Vrindavan. Of course, this is very deep. It's so difficult to even understand this kind of feeling expressed. Lord Chaitanya says, Ei bhakti bhakta priya Krishna vehvar ama saba bujite ho nahi adhikar. We can't understand. We don't have the capacity to understand this kind of expression that truti in separation from Krishna could be like a yuga or someone. But that is expressed. Okay, so another unit of time which is expressed is lava. How much is a lava? Any guess? Or if you have already read lava. Or before that, have you heard this term lava as the duration of, now love in general English means, as we know, in the prem, love. But love here we are talking of as a measurement of time. So how much is lava? 8 by 45. You just checked, looks like. Approximately it is 1 by 6 of a second. Lava. Okay, and where does the word lava comes? Very, very famous. It's a famous word. Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Shastra Koi, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hai. If one associate with a sadhu, like Srila Prabhupada and his other followers, those are following in his footsteps, Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hai. 1 by 6 of an association of a second, 1 by 6 of a second's association can lead to all perfection. Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hai. Again, very difficult to comprehend. We know that we are trying to associate with the devotees, hearing Prabhupada and so on, and we still feel we are far away from the perfection. We are, and especially speaking for myself. And but this verse is Lava Matra Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi Hai. How to understand this verse? So just to give you some understanding, Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur has given some understanding of this verse. He says association, Sangha, means to accept. Association means to accept. So like when he would travel, he would stop for a few minutes on a train station and devotees would come to do kirtan, and then he would give a short talk also, importance of chanting the holy name, and request everyone to take up to the chanting of the Lord's name. So just a very brief halt, and there would be kirtan and there would be just a talk also, TED talk. So a talk will be there, and he would especially request everyone to chant the holy names. Now how much time it takes for a person to accept the instruction? It doesn't take much time that you just accept it. Yes, I will do it. To make that resolve. Doesn't take time. So that is lavamatra sadhu sang. That means if we accept the instruction of the great souls in our life, that will lead to all perfection eventually. So that's the beginning. So one sets out on the path of perfection when one accepts the teaching of the great soul in one's life. So that is lavamatra sadhu sang sarva siddhi hai. Of course, when the scripture says even the small duration like lava, 1/6 of a second can give perfection, the point is not to associate just for lavamatra. The point is, if we associate more, then there will be much more benefit. So that's the important understanding of this verse also. Okay, now another unit greater than love is nimesh. Nimesh. In terms of second, how much is nimesh? Not referring to the text now. Nimesh, 1/10. Nimesh is half a second. So nimesh is the time duration it takes for the eyelid to come down and go up. Nimesh. That is just the measurement of the time. So it takes half a second. We don't even notice. Involuntarily, we don't even notice. So that's a half a second. Nimesh. Anywhere have you read the word nimesh? Shiksastakam. Yes, yugaitam nimishena. In separation from Krishna, half a second is like yuga. Fine. Any other place the word nimesh comes? Brahma Samhita, where is that? Nimeshardhakyuva vrajati nahi yatrapi samaya. So the time duration. So it's basically that how the time is there in the spiritual world, that is described. Though the time is there, but there is no deterioration. Like everything deteriorates in due course of time here, but there is no passing away of the time or no deterioration of the time. Nimeshardhakyuva vrajati nahi yatrapi samaya. Right. So that is there. Also in the first canto of Bhagavatam, naimishe animishe kshetre. So animish is described as the name of the Lord, is name of the Lord Vishnu. Animish. So nimesh means blinking of the eye. And Lord Vishnu's name is Animish. So therefore the Naimisharanya is Naimishe Animishe Kshetre. It's a abode of the Lord who is Animish. Means who never blinks his eyes. Lord Vishnu never blinks his eyes. But we see, he is sleeping in Yoga Nidra, eyelids are closed. But yes, here the blinking of the eye means he doesn't blink his eyes, means he is never in ignorance of sleep, or he never fails to unnotice someone who comes before him. That means if we go to, for asking the Lord his blessing, we go for his darshan, we will not go unnoticed. So the Lord doesn't blink his eyes. So that means he is noticing everything, everyone's movement all the time. Just like CCTV camera has no eyelid. Right? He's always just watching everything without blinking the eye. So animish, the Lord is animish. So that is half a second. Animish. Lord Jagannath has no eyelids also. So he is naturally never blinks his eyes. So always bestows his mercy upon all. He will not miss anyone who comes before him. So especially we beg the mercy of Lord Jagannath, and it is described that when we go before the Lord, Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur would say, yes, in India especially we say we are going for darshan. or we had a nice darshan of the Lord. We are going for Shingar darshan, Shingar darshan just took place, which is very good. I mean, we are going for darshan, but the internal feeling should be, I am going to be seen by the Lord. Because in his vision, when he sees, when his vision falls on us, in his vision is great mercy. Jiva pratikar prabhu shubha drishtipat. Again and again Vrindavan Thakur says, my Lord, please glance mercifully upon your devotees. Please glance mercifully on your devotees. So with the Lord's Bhagavatam also describes that the Lord glance is anugraha kataram. He is very anxious to bestow his mercy upon his devotees through his glance. So when we go before the Lord, we should internally go with the mood that I am going to receive the Lord's glance, the glance of mercy upon me. So therefore, I am going there to be seen by the Lord in the mood of receiving mercy from him, begging mercy from him. And he is animish, never blinks the eye. So uninterrupted mercy the Lord showers upon his devotees. Another beautiful verse which says, if one meditates upon the lotus feet of the Lord for half a second we are talking nimish, then that person will never see Yamaraj for the rest of eternity. Tilardhe ko ye charan dhyana kaile matra yamatar nahayen adhikar patra. So just for half a second, tilardhe ko ye charan dhyan kaile matra, one who remembers the lotus feet of the Lord for just half a second will never see the Yamdutas, or he will be outside of the jurisdiction of Yamaraj. And again applying the same kamutik nyay means kim utaha, how much more will be the benefit if we remember the lotus feet of the Lord, serve the lotus feet of the Lord for greater duration of time. So the whole purpose of discussion of the time is to invest more and more time in Krishna consciousness and minimize the wastage of time. Greater than nimish, half a second is shana. Shana. So can someone recall if you have heard this word shana anywhere in the scriptures? Shana. Sorry, yes, Shanam api. Okay, the Shanam api, before and after something? Sorry? Say loudly. Can someone speak? Nahi kaschit Shanam api. Nahi kaschit Shanam api jate tishtatu hai akarmakrit. A living entity is active, and the living entity cannot be inert without work, without action, even for shana. Huh? Yes, good. Thank you. She has completed the verse you began. Nahi jatu shanapi, nahi tishtati shanapi. Okay, so any other place where the word shan is used? Huh? Pratikshana. In morning, Guru Ashtakam. In the fifth verse, Shri Radhika Madhavayor Apara Madhurya Leela Gunarupa Namna Pratikshana Asva Pradishan. Right? The spiritual master at every shana. Shana is 1.5 of a second, 1.5 second. So shana is 1.5, little more than 1. So shana. So pratikshana asvadan lolupasya. He is every moment the spiritual master is absorbed and relishing the divine pastimes of Shri Radha, Krishna, Radha, Madhava. Okay, that is shana. So more place, shana is more common. Shana bhangura, dehi nam shana bhangura. Good. This verse is even very important. Why? Because it's in the theme of what we are discussing. Dehi nam shana bhangura. This body can just be finished in 1.5 seconds. Because someone may be just walking and there is a heart attack, and a person collapses. So many, daily happening. A person leaves the body on the spot. There is, sometimes you can rush a person to hospital, can be saved, but so many people within shana, they just leave the body. Dehi nam shana bhangura. That means every shan should be valued. Every shan should be valued and not wasted, because this body can fall down at any moment of time. There is another beautiful verse which talks of the word shana. Kalakshepo na kartavya shinam ayu shane shane. So this verse says, scriptural verse, Kalakshepa na kartavya, do not waste time. Kalakshep, na kartavya, don't do it. Why? Shinam ayuhu shane shane. The duration of the life is reducing with every shana. Yamasya karunam nasti. So said, someone may say, I will borrow some time from Yamaraj. He said, Yamaraj is not a mercy department. Yamaraj department is that of punishment. Yamaraj doesn't give any concession, any mercy over there. If one doesn't behave properly, so there is not going to be any allowance sanctioned by Yamaraj. Yamasya karunam nasti. Kṛtaṁ hari kirtanam. Therefore, one should perform one's duty of always trying to use every shan in chanting the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So that is about the shana. Higher than shana is the duration of the time called ghatika, or that is also called as danda, which is 24 minutes. 24 minutes. So, can someone recall this word ghatika or danda from the scriptures? Ghatika or danda, if you have read. Okay, so about Raghunath Das Goswami. Sardha sapta prahar kare bhakti ra sadhane chari danda nidra seha nahi kaun dine. So he would perform bhakti sadhana bhakti for 7.5 prahar. We will come to prahar also, we are covering a little in advance. So prahar is 3 hours. So Sardha Sapta means 7.5 prahar he would invest in sadhana bhakti, he will be absorbed. And Chari Danda Nidra, so one danda is 24 into 4, 96, almost 1.5 hours. So he would only sleep for 1.5 hours. Chari Danda Nidra seha nahi kaun dine. And then sometime he would not be able to afford sleeping that long. Right? That is standard of Raghunath Das Goswami. Right? We cannot imitate. But yes, the principle is not to waste time, but minimize the wastage of time, reduce it to nil, and invest as much time as possible into hearing, chanting, remembering, serving the Lord. So that is danda. Another place the word danda is used, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya glorified the Lord on the spot. When he became a Vaishnava, he composed 100 verses called Sarvabhauma Shatak. In the original century by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Shat shloka kaila ek danda na yaite, Brahaspati taiche shloka na pare karite. He composed 100 verses in glorification of the Lord in less than 24 minutes. He composed and recited. Just imagine. And it's mentioned that Brahaspati, the learned guru of the Devatas, doesn't have that much intellectual capacity as Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. He could compose and recite 100 verses of glorification in less than 24 minutes. Keshav Kashmiri has also composed 100 verses in glorification of Mother Ganga. How much time did he take? He took almost an hour, is mentioned, or took almost 1 hour. Almost 1 hour. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya broke the record, right? Right, by taking less than half of the time. So nowhere no comparison. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's intellectual capacity was far above even Keshav Kashmiri, who was a Digvijay scholar. So, Ek Dand, 24 minutes. So, and there are other places also where this word Dand is used. But again, coming to the point that one should use the time judiciously to glorify the Lord. That's the above Danda, above 24 minutes, the next duration of time is Muhurt. Muhurt. Now we all have heard the word Muhurt, especially in India. You go to an astrologer and they tell you for any auspicious activities, this is the right Muhurt duration, auspicious Muhurt. How much is the Muhurt? 48 seconds, double of this, double of the Danda or Ghatika. Muhurt is 48 seconds. And, 48 minutes, thank you. Muhurt is double of Ghatika, which is 48 minutes. One Muhurt is 48 minutes. So, Muhurt word, can someone recall where is the Muhurt word used? Khatwang Maharaj, when he asked the Devatas, how much time do I have in this human form of life? They said, one Muhurt remaining, 48 minutes. So, all these, from Truti to Muhurt, English translation is moment. Most of the places, moment, usually. A small duration. Up to Muhurt also is translated as moment. So, but they are, different over here and differently used. So, just discussing some mathematical detail along with, how we can invest the time in Krishna consciousness, every duration of time. So, this is Muhurt, and Khatvanga Maharaj got one Muhurt of time, 48 minutes, and within that time he perfected his Krishna consciousness. So, even we were reading about Dhruva Maharaj, how within 6 months he perfected his Krishna consciousness. So therefore, the perfection of Krishna consciousness depends upon two things, and Prabhupada uses these two words again and again in his purport, that is sincerity and seriousness. So sincerity means that we strive in the right direction under the guidance of Guru Sadhu and Shastra, that is sincerity. A person is following, going in the right direction. And seriousness means intensity. Therefore, perfection in Krishna consciousness depends upon the direction in which one is heading and the intensity of practice. So therefore, Dhruva Maharaj, he practiced the path of Bhakti Yoga as directed by Narad Muni. So Narad Muni gave him complete guidance and he followed it exactly. And also he was very intense. And therefore the intensity of practice and the direction of the practice determined the perfection of practice. So in this way, Khatvang Maharaj could perfect his Krishna consciousness in one Muhurta, 48 minutes. And then there is the duration of the time called Prahar, as we know, Prahar. And Prahar is 3 hours, which is 180 minutes. And about Prahar, any place, I just quoted one verse about Prahar, about Raghunath Das Goswami. He would invest 7.5 Prahars in sadhana bhakti. Any other place have you heard of the word Prahar in the scriptures being mentioned? Ashtaprahariya Leela. Lord Radha and Krishna Leela, Ashtakaliya Leela or Ashtaprahar Leela. But more than that, in famous is another Leela of Mahaprabhu, which is, sorry? Vakreshwar Pandit. Okay, Vakreshwar Pandit, what is mentioned about him? He would dance for 7 or 8 prahars. He once danced, yes, he would dance for a long time. he once danced for 24 prahars at a stretch. वक्रेश्वर पंडित प्रभुरा बड़ा प्रिया भृत्या एक भावे 26 प्रहर यार नित्या. So for ek bhave, with one constant ecstasy, Vakreshwar Pandit danced for 24 prahar, 72 hours of non-stop ecstatic dancing. and he requested, he made a very amazing request to Mahaprabhu. He said, दस सहस्र गंधर्व मोरे देह चंद्रमुख तार गाय मुई नाची तबे मोरा सुख. He said, my lord, please have 10,000 gandharvas sing, and let them sing, just imagine the Hari Dhwani that will be vibrated when 10,000 gandharva, of course these are gandharva devotees, so 10,000 gandharvas, when they will chant Hari Dhwani, and then they will be able to match my tempo of kirtan. Like a person who wants to dance with great ecstasy, the singer has to match the tempo. They have to be matching. So to match the ecstasy, the tempo of kirtan of Vakreshwar Pandit, 10,000 gandharvas should do kirtan. Imagine a kirtan mela in which there are 10,000 gandharvas singing. So that is the kind of kirtan mela Vakreshwar Pandit desired to participate in. And Mahaprabhu was pleased by that request. He said, Prabhu kahe tum imor paksha ek shakha akashe uditama yadi pana ar pakha. He said, you are my one wing. I will fly in the sky if I had another wing like you. So Mahaprabhu said, he was so pleased. That was the expression. This dancing is also expression of devotion, basically. When we dance before the Lord, expression of devotion. So he wanted to express this devotional dancing to the chanting of 10,000 gandharvas. So once he danced, apane Mahaprabhu gaye yar nitya kale. So Mahaprabhu himself would lead the kirtan. So Mahaprabhu could probably sing and produce that Hari Dhwani, which is like 10,000 gandharvas singing, and therefore Mahaprabhu would often sing when Vakreshwar Pandit would dance, and Vakreshwar Pandit could dance in great ecstasy to the singing of Lord Chaitanya. Apane Mahaprabhu gaye yar nitya kale. So yes, coming back to Prahar, so took a digression of Vakreshwar Pandit's ecstatic dancing. So coming back to Prahar, Vakreshwar Pandit danced for 24 prahars at a stretch once, bringing great pleasure to the Lord and the Vaishnavas. Any other place where the word prahar is used? Very famous Mahaprakash Leela, which is also called Shat Prahariya Leela. 7. So the Mahaprakash Leela, the great ecstasy that Lord Chaitanya manifested, it lasted for 7 prahars, 21 hours of non-stop devotional ecstasies Mahaprabhu realized in Srivas Angan in Sridham Mayapur here. So that is Shat Prahariya Leela. And of course then there are days and Paksh 15 days and a month, Maas, and then 6 months makes an Ayan, then Vatsar, year, and so on so forth, all the way up to, from the smallest measurement of time, which is Parmanu time, all the way up to Param Mahan time, which is Dvipararth, that is lifetime of Brahma, 311.04 trillion years. So all that is described, and no one has too much of a time. So no one has too much of a time, even the Devatas, even Lord Brahma, it is mentioned, Lord Brahma's time will finish in a blink of an eye. Lord Brahma's time will finish and he will be face to face with the death. Therefore the time also produces fear in Lord Brahma. So time is quickly passing for everyone. So the perception is relative. Though the time is absolute, everyone perceives the relative passing of the time, and the time passes quickly for everyone. Of course, when in separation, relatively, the gopis express that this time seems to be very long, but in general, specifically when a person is just engaged in materialistic pursuit, the life will just fly away very fast and the death will knock at the door. So the time flies away even for Lord Brahma, and he is face to face with the death. So the whole lesson is that we should not waste time and invest every moment, right? Moment we discuss various spans of moment, invest every moment of time in hearing, chanting, glorifying the Lord. So I will just briefly talk about Bhishma Dev in the same context of the time, because this is Bhishma Panchak going on. So Bhishma Dev was lying on the bed of the arrows, on the battlefield, with the arrows piercing all over his body, and he was waiting for the time, the right time to come. That means he had a desire to leave his body in the presence of Lord Krishna. So Lord, knowing his desire, he brought the Pandavas, and Lord specifically asked that the Pandavas, you should dress very royally. They were dressed as the kings. So dress very royally, so that, because Bhishma his whole life he wanted to see, he was pained at the torments of the Pandavas, at their suffering, and he wanted to see them properly situated in their kingly opulence, in their rightful position. So that has been his thought, that has been his meditation, that has been his desire. So Krishna, in order to bring that happiness, he told that you all dress very royally and go on a royal chariot bedecked with jewels, display the greatest opulence while you go to meet Bhishma, so that Bhishma, by seeing, becomes very happy, to bring joy to the heart of Bhishma. And of course Krishna himself went to give him darshan, and Bhishma Dev now understood that my time has come to pass away from this world. The Krishna in front of him, he by the desire of the Lord, he speaks on dharma, pacifies Yudhishthira Maharaj, and offers his heartfelt prayers to Lord Krishna. So in his prayers he expresses that he wants to attain the Parthasarathi form of Krishna. Krishna driving the chariot of Arjuna. So in a way, though Krishna is driving the chariot of Arjuna, Arjuna is seeing only Krishna's back. But Bhishma is seeing Krishna's beautiful face. So from one perspective, those who are on the other side, they are very fortunate to be able to see Krishna's beautiful face, especially Bhishma Dev. So he is able to see the beautiful face of the Krishna, and he offered his beautiful prayers, and he wants to attain this form of the Lord, the charioteer. And he addresses Lord as Vijaya Sakhe, Partha Sakhe, one who is the charioteer driver. Krishna, he explicitly expresses the desire to attain this form, and Krishna says, "O Bhishma, this form can only be attained my highest devotee Arjuna." Krishna says that. Bhishma Dev says, "But Arjuna is not your topmost devotee. Your topmost devotees are the gopis of Vrindavan." So Bhishma Dev, lying on the battlefield of arrows, with the lying on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, with arrows piercing every part of his body, then remembers the love of the gopis of Vrindavan. Just imagine, with arrows piercing every part of the body, Bhishma Dev is remembering the sweetest pastime of the Lord, which is Ras Leela. His connection with the Gopi Geet also. So their feeling of separation, after which they sang the Gopi Geet. So Bhishma Dev remembers, he says, "Let my mind be fixed upon Lord Shri Krishna, whose motions and smiles of love attracted the damsels of Vrajbhumi, the gopis. The damsels imitated the characteristic movement of the Lord after disappearance from the Ras dance." And then they sang the Gopi Geet. So Bhishma, on the battlefield where they are, the whole scene is tainted with so much blood. There are bodily limbs of the animals, of the warriors everywhere. An arrow piercing his body, he is remembering the sweetest pastime of Vrindavan. Just imagine. So, that is Bhishma. And Krishna says, Bhishma, you are remembering the love of the gopis? What is your intention in remembering them? Do you want to aspire for their love? Krishna says, no. Nowhere. I can't dare to do that. I can't dare to do that. I only remember that their love, for mere remembrance of their love will bring the fulfillment of all my desires. So that is the power of just remembering the love of the highest devotees of Vrindavan. Ya sabha smarane bhava bandha vimochan, ya sabha smarane pahe chaitanya charan. So by remembrance of the pure devotees of the Lord, one's shackles to the material world can be cut and one can attain the fulfillment of all one's desire. Ya sabha smarane nija vanchita puran. Whatever cherished desires of the heart one may have are simply fulfilled by remembering such great devotees of the Lord as gopis of Vrindavan. Therefore, Bhishma Dev, he remembers the gopis of Vrindavan for the success of his desires, for the fulfillment of his desires, to attain Krishna as a Parthasarthi. So, that is Bhishma Dev. And this is the time of Bhishma Panchak. Following the footsteps of Bhishma Dev, we can remember, we can glorify the pastimes of Shri Shri Radha Madhava, Lord Gauranga, and in this way invest as much time as possible in devotional service and not waste any moment of time. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, thank you very much. We have 2-3 minutes. If there are any comments, corrections, questions, you may please. Yes, Prabhu.
Yes. Prabhuji, that very beautiful sloka that you quoted, that we should not waste time and we should always engage in Krishna Kirtan. Can we know the reference?
Which verse?
Just forgetting the exact sloka that you quoted. Meaning is that we should not waste time and we should engage always in Krishna Kirtan.
In Krishna Kirtan. Kalakshepana kartavyo shina mahi ushane shane himasya karunam nasti kartavyam hari kirtanat. This is one of the scriptural verse only. I heard from a devotee. The meaning is, so I didn't try to also find the exact reference, but you can note down and try to find out the reference. But it's a beautiful verse, beautiful meaning, so I adopted that. Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, you mentioned about Lord's glance is anugrah katram.
Anugraha kataram.
Katram. So I forgot its meaning.
Anugraha kataram means one who is very anxious to bestow his mercy upon devotees. So the Lord is very anxious. More anxious than we are to receive his mercy, the Lord anxious to give his mercy. That we have to be in the right frame of mind to receive it. Yes. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Over here. Okay, you want to say something?
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhu, for such a kind of a mathematical and structured way of calculation of the time and in relation to the different pastimes. I was just wondering that at every second, yes, at every
Microphone is saying time is over, it's 9 o'clock.
Time itself is a factor. So like...
Yeah. Avyarthakalatvam. Yeah, so this is the symptom of the bhava, the 9 symptoms of person who has attained the bhava. One of them is avyarthakalatvam. That person is very conscious not to waste any time. By chance some time is wasted, that is very painful to him. Avyarthakalatvam. That is explained. Prabhupada quotes one verse in 2nd canto. So hanistan mahachidram so moha sacha vibrama yan muhurtam shanam vapi vasudevam nachintayet. So that is the greatest loss, that is the greatest anomaly, that is the greatest crisis, the time that is lost in not thinking of the Supreme Lord. Basically, outside of Krishna consciousness, time that is wasted is our greatest anomaly, greatest loss, greatest crisis. So that is that a person realizes, or the person becomes very conscious of that at the stage of bhava, avyarthakalatvam. Right?
So is this like, is this only for our or can we apply that principles like devotee also?
Yeah, that bhav person is the stage of bhava. Naturally, he is very conscious of, not wasting time and investing a whole time in Krishna consciousness. But others follow in the footsteps and consciously practice. For that person, it becomes natural at the stage of bhava. But for us, we have to make a conscious practice.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so we will end the class over here. And I really thank you all for your patient hearing, enthusiastic participation. If you have any feedback for me, you can give me personally. And if there is some questions I could not take, you can also ask me personally. I'll be just here for another few minutes. Thank you. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande.